this coming weekend, we got Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter, which, man, this is a fucking hell of a matchup. This is a hell of a matchup right here, man. I mean, I've always been critical not of Terence, but of rating him at a certain level in the pound for pound rankings just because of his limited opposition and particularly his limited opposition at welterweight. And this kind of puts an end to that because this is the first time that he's going to fight an elite level PBC welterweight, you know? And I think on top of fighting an elite level PBC welterweight, he's fighting a guy whose battery doesn't die. I mean, Shawn Porter does not get tired. His pace is also fucking relentless. When he wants to be physical with you and muscle you around and shift his feet on the inside and do all that, he's a lot to deal with. He's really a lot to deal with. And I was there for his fight with Keith Thurman. He was a lot to deal with that night. He was a lot to deal with the night he fought Errol Spence. I think, you know, he's one knockdown away from, you know, maybe getting a draw or winning that fight. So, I mean, I feel like I have a better sense of what Shawn Porter brings to the table at an elite level than I do with Terence Crawford. Now, with Terence, every time I watch him, it feels very obvious to me that I'm watching something special. Because you can see his skills, you can see how he thinks it out for 3-4 rounds, and then all of a sudden he takes it up a gear, and then a couple rounds later he takes it up another gear, and a couple rounds later he takes it up another gear, and it doesn't seem like there's an end to those gears until he's able to get you out of there. And he has, I think he's got, like, for the weight class, I mean, I think he's probably the best puncher at welterweight. You know what I mean? I think he's got, like, Golovkin type power for that weight. I really do. I don't think you just knock Kell Brook out like that if you're not a monster puncher. You know what I mean? And I think that I don't think there really is an end to his gears. That's what's so crazy. And he learns as he goes along in a fight. The first half of the fight is one thing. The second half of the fight is a whole different thing. You know what I mean? With Terence, he's just he builds up his understanding of you as he goes, and then he exploits it in the second half of the fight if you make it that long. And he's brilliant, man. I thought his last fight against Kell, Brook looked really sharp to me. And that's a guy that fought Golovkin and fought Errol Spence, you know, and got stopped because of a broken orbital bone, but didn't just get, like, clipped, buzzed, knocked out. And that's what Terence did to him. And he made it look easy. You know what I'm saying? Generally, I might make a prediction, but I'm not going to make a prediction for this fight. What I am going to say is this is the first time we're getting to see Terence at the elite level, and he's really got the bright lights on him. This is really the first one. And I think that if he's as special as it kind of looks like he is, he's going to beat Porter. And it may not be easy, but he's going to do it. But if for whatever reason, you know, he passed the eye test, but against a certain level, you know, and I don't think he's that guy, but I do think that Shawn Porter has the ability to make you question yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's really got the ability to make you answer questions within yourself because he's going to push you. He's going to push you. He's going to make it physical. He's going to be on top of you, and it's going to be uncomfortable, you know? And I don't know if I've ever seen Terence uncomfortable before, and I kind of look forward to seeing him work his way out of it, you know? Because I think he's a resourceful and great enough fighter to do it. And he just hasn't really had the opportunity, unfortunately. So, and my hope ultimately is that this leads to more PBC crossover fights with top rank fighters. You know, because that's allegedly what's been holding up the fight between Terence and Errol, is the two promoters not being willing to work together. And now I think this kind of blows all that up, and they've done it a couple other times. So I think this hopefully extends a branch of Terence being able to get fights with the top welterweights of PBC, because that's where they're all signed to. He can't fight those guys if those two promotional companies are not going to do business. It's just impossible. And then they have all those top guys, and they can all fight each other. I've said this before. There's a part of it where it's like they don't need Terence. They have every single other top guy at PBC. So they can just keep fighting each other and build their legacy off of that. I'm not saying it's right, but they can. You know what I'm saying? And they do. They do fight each other. Dennis Ugas and Pacquiao just fucking fought each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is going to be a really great fight. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but I think we're going to see them both cement their legacies a little bit. I think this is like a legacy fight for both these guys. You know what I mean? This is two top guys in their prime. And I will say that I think on a skill level, Terence has every edge. But I think on an experience level, Shawn has every edge. I think on an experience level, Shawn, I don't know that there's anything that you can really show him that's going to blow his mind because of the guys that he's been in with. I do think that Shawn can show Terence some things he's never seen before and make him feel shit he's never felt before.